Hi, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Grace Uzzi, and I am the Shop Online virtual exhibitor assistant. And I pretty much help with everything from getting your products and your profile information online, as well as just helping you navigate the online portal and how you can access leads, etc. We're going to go over how to scan buyer badges, the three different ways of doing that, how to create purchase orders, and how to access your leads after. And after that, I'm going to turn it over to Dupali, who's on the call from Ribbon, and she's going to just go over what the buyers see, or she's going to talk about what the buyers see from their end and how that benefits you. Also on the call, we have Stella and Madeline from Space Productions. They are familiar with the in-person show as well as the online portal, and they can help answer questions in the Q&A. But just as a general announcement, we're not really going to be answering questions about the in-person show. That's why I included the link to the in-person guide in the chat screen. So if you have any questions about the in-person show, I highly recommend going to that guide first. That can answer pretty much all your questions. If you don't see your answer in there, you can then reach out to operations@shopobject.com and ask them your question. Uh, in the same thread as that, I have posted the online guide in the chat screen. That can answer a lot of your initial questions about the online portal. But if you have any additional questions that you don't see answered in the guide, please feel free to email me at any time at hello@shopobject.com and I can answer your question. I can also jump on a call with you through my Google Calendar. I am available Monday through Thursday on that, and you can book an appointment ahead of time with me, and we can meet on Google Meet. And that also applies during the show. If you have any quick questions, I'm happy to jump on a call with you during setup or the in-person show. And we also have Papa here from Shop Object. He'll be able to answer your questions as well. So I am going to go ahead and get started with showing you a buyer badge. And after I'm done and Dupali's done, we're going to answer all of your questions if they're not answered yet. So right here is a buyer badge. This is what they're going to look like. You have their name, a QR code that we'll talk about scanning in a second. Their company name, mine is just called Buyer Test, their city, and their title, which is buyer. And then this is showing upside down, but on the reverse side of the badge, you'll have the show information, their name, their company, and their city. Just in case it's flipped over, you'll still be able to see their name. Um, Generally, about scanning badges, we recommend that if you'd like to save their information at all, we recommend that you go ahead and scan their badge. We do remind buyers to make sure that you're logged in and that you scan the booth signs or a brand's badge, but sometimes they don't remember or they are not logged in on their device, so it doesn't save to their account. So we recommend that you go ahead and scan anybody that you'd like to save to your account and reach out to later. Um, Many devices will log you out of your default browser at the end of the day. So we recommend every morning of the show in your default browser, whatever that may be, it's usually Safari on the iPhone. Uh, Make sure you're logged into the Shop Online website, and that way, any scans that you make throughout the show, they save to your account. So the first method of scanning a buyer badge is just through your camera app on your iPhone. I'm going to do it with my iPhone. I can't show you the actual process of that, but I'll show you what it should look like as a successful scan afterwards. So you're going to hover over the QR code with your camera app, and you'll see the link pop up, and you're going to click that link, and it should look like this. So if it's scanned successfully, it should pull up their profile, the buyer profile. So again, this is just my test account. It's not filled out fully. But if this pulled up, then that means your account successfully saved it. If you'd like to just go on with your day, you can swipe out of this on your phone and it will have saved to your leads. And I'll show you how to access them in a few minutes. So that's the first method. If you scanned the QR code and it pulled up a login screen, that means you're not logged in and you need to make sure you're logged in on that browser. And I would try again just to be sure. And I can email this badge to anybody who'd like to test scan outside of this call. Just email me at hello@shopobject.com and I can send it over to you. So that's the first method. The second method is this little scan bubble that you see right here. That is going to be active on all brand facing work desk pages the week of the show. Right now, it's just active during this call um, for demo purposes, but you can pull up this bubble, allow. Again, I'm going to do it from my phone. And it will have scanned the badge, and when it's successful, this little pop-up will pop up where you can add a note. Maybe it's something that you and the buyer spoke about in person that you'd like to remember or that you'd like to reach out to them later about. Likes the bowl set. Done. That is saved to your leads, and you can always edit or add to that later as well. The third and final way of scanning a buyer badge is through this notepad screen right here, or icon, I'm sorry. And it's going to automatically, I'm going to show you guys on my laptop because it's bigger. But that'll automatically bring you to a purchase order after you pull up their buyer information. So you can click on the scan QR code, and that's probably the easiest way of starting a purchase order on the floor is just by scanning their badge, or you can type in their buyer email address here. In this case, we're just going to type in my buyer email address, which is here. And then you can go ahead and start creating the purchase order. Let me also mention this, that for on the show floor, we recommend using a phone or a tablet for scanning buyer badges. But for creating a purchase order, using a tablet or a laptop is probably easiest because you can just see more. On the phone, you're going to have to scroll over a lot and scroll down a lot. So with purchase orders, tablet or laptop, for scanning badges, a phone or tablet are ideal. So you have your list of SKUs here. I just have two for testing purposes, but you can add them here. Then you can adjust your quantities. You can add a discount right here. You'll also be able to add a discount later on too. Then you're going to review your purchase order. Now the PO number and order ID number, that's just automatically created in the system, but you can adjust those numbers if you'd like to. Now this has your email address, your brand name, your phone number. Mine is just a placeholder. And then you have the buyer information. You have their business name, their email address, their phone number, and then their billing address. I recommend if you're standing there with the buyer, just go over this information and make sure it's correct. Um, then you can click a payment method. If you want to charge a buyer with through their credit card, you're going to need to link a payment processor to your shop online account. We recommend Stripe just because it doesn't charge you an additional fee on top of a credit card fee. But you can use other ones that we have listed in settings on your work desk. All that information is in the guide that I shared with you guys in chat. Um, and I can also help answer any of those like specific questions over email. But if you want to charge a credit card, you're going to need to link a payment processor to your account. Otherwise, a very common payment method is vendor to send payment link. That is if you just want to create this purchase order, you'd submit it, everybody would get a copy of it automatically, and then you would send them an outside payment link, such as PayPal, Square, etc. And everything would then be taken outside of Shop Online. So those are the two most popular payment methods. For this purpose, we're going to just click credit card. Then you'd select a credit card number, or you can add a card if you're standing with them. Then you'd want to go over the shipping information just to make sure that's all correct. You can also add in a ship date, and you can also add in any notes, such as when the order will be shipped or when payment is due. Or anything, if anything's back ordered, you can add that in here. Um, just a note that the buyers can see these notes, though. It's not just for you. Once this is all double checked and you feel confident in it, then you'd click submit order. Now my card is just a placeholder card, so it got declined, but we'll just continue on as if it was accepted. And now, if you want to then access your purchase orders afterwards, you'd go to orders up here at the top. You can also access it by going to work desk, and then you'd see purchase orders or orders here. Now, in order to charge their card, you would click process PO, and you'd see the subtotal. If you had charged anything previously, that would be listed here, the discount, and then how much you need to charge now and your shipping. So this is a lot of people ask, when do I add shipping? I don't see it on the purchase order. You don't add shipping until after the purchase order is submitted. And you can only add shipping if you are accepting payment through Shop Online. If you chose the vendor to send payment link option and you're handling payment outside of Shop Online, you're not adding shipping in this portal. You're doing that on your own. So, yep, you just add everything here and then click charge card. So that's a purchase order workflow. And we're also going to show you guys how to access your leads afterwards. The most popular drop-down menu under leads would be buyers you scanned. Um, this is like the scan that we did earlier in the note that I added. And like I mentioned earlier, you can add to this, you can delete it, edit it in any way, and it'll save. You also have buyers that scanned your QR code. These are the buyers that might have scanned your badge or your booth sign that has your QR code. Um, so that's also helpful. Some brands are like, oh, I didn't even notice that these people were scanning me, but now I have their information. So it's beneficial. Then you have requested to connect, requested an appointment, send an inquiry, bookmark your brand, and bookmark products. And you also have these sales related drop-down menus as well. All of these sections are exportable, so you can click download leads and it'll open up a CSV with their information, such as this, that you can access throughout the show. I am also going to go over how to pre-print your badges. You're going to click profile up here in the top right corner. And then you're going to click QR code and print badge. And that'll go ahead and trigger a download to your device with your badge. Again, sorry, this is upside down. Here would be your brand badge. Again, this is just my test account, city, your title, and then your information on the back. Or actually, I'm sorry, it doesn't have your information on the back. It just has the show information. But just a note here that you can pre-print these and skip a line to have your badge printed in person. All you would have to do is just pre-print these and then get a lanyard in person. So it makes the process a lot quicker for you. However many people are working your booth with you, you would print that many of this document. The badge is going to be the same for each person working the booth. You're just going to write your name on this line to differentiate. So yeah, that's the end of my talk. Deepali, do you want to jump in and I'll stop sharing my screen.
Sure. Since Grace mentioned that what needs to be done on the vendor side from registration, lead, scanning, and then the e-commerce side of it, we also maintain a relationship with the buyer. Um, this is more on the side that it's very much important for you to keep in mind that shop online makes impact when you are connected to them through your scanner. Although the physical presence matters, but you to maintain a relationship throughout the year, it is very much important for them to be connected to them and for them to know who they actually reached out to during the show. So we do send out follow-up emails to the list of brands that the buyers have scanned, which comes back to the point where Grace mentioned that the QR codes needs to be clearly visible at the booth, and it is very much important. The second thing that we keep in mind is that the buyers also receive a recap email with, again, the brands that they have engaged with, the products that they have scanned, and the brands which stood out during their scanning process, where they have made future purchases and they would be interested in making future purchases. Also, buyers have the ability to send out inquiries and book an appointment during and before, during, and after the show. So you have to keep in mind to keep looking at the leads module of your profile page. And you can download them, you can keep in contact, you can send out emails, you can give them a call if they have if they have used their phone number in terms of their profile page. Um, yeah, I mean, we do a lot in terms of keeping them engaged post show, but it is very much important for you to scan them and to make sure that they can scan you when they are in front of you. So make the QR codes available to them and make them visible as well. Yeah, that's very much everything. Yeah.
Sounds great. Thank you. I am not seeing any questions yet. If anybody does have any questions, please feel free. There we go. Yes, I will post those guides again. Let me copy them. I'll just I'll put them in the chat, but I will also put them. I'll answer your. Oh, Deepali's doing it. Okay. You don't see work desk under your profile. Okay. Would love to make sure that you are logged in as a brand, but if you are logged in as a brand, let me show you again where you can find that. So again, you're gonna log in and you're gonna click this circle right here in the top right corner and then click Work Desk. And then you'll be able to pull up purchase orders, products, manage assets, all of these things. Um, and also, I'm not going to go into how to upload products or upload your profile page components today, just because that can take up a lot of time. But if you have any questions about onboarding, please feel free to email me, and I'm happy to jump on a call to go over any of that with you. But yeah, so that's how you access your work desk. If your profile does not look like this, you might be logged in as a buyer, and you might not have sent me the information to create your brand account. So again, if it looks like you're not logged in as a brand, email me and we can get it squared away. Isabel, we don't have the chat enabled, so let me, if you can't see those links that I sent you, um, we don't have the chat enabled for attendees to send questions. So I will send you the guide if that's what you're looking for. Um, let's see. So someone asked, how do you place a test order? You can scan the buyer badge that I had up, and I can pull it up again if you guys want. Um, oops, sorry, that's my brand badge. Here's my buyer badge. You can scan the buyer badge just like I had done at the beginning of the call to create a test order. Or if you want to just email me, I can send this badge to you with my email address for my test buyer account, and then you can go ahead and create a test order. Um, so Papa, do you know anything about the trade program that Ellen is asking about?
I'm not sure. I'll have to read the
Okay.
I was answering someone. But
I'm
I can
sorry.
connect with is it Ella?
Ellen
Oh,
Robinson.
sorry, Ellen. I can connect with Ellen and see what that's all about.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, Isabel asked, how do we contact those who just view our profile? That information, unless they decide to reach out or share their contact details, if a buyer is just viewing your products and doesn't click on the pop-up window that pops up after a minute or so, um, we cannot give you guys that information, their information, and it's not shared with you. Um, all that you get in that instance is just an email address. I mean, sorry, an email with their shop name. So it's kind of just like as if they're window shopping. Um, If you want to reach out to them, you can look up their shop name and then reach out and say, "Hi, I noticed you were viewing my shop online account." But we don't give you guys their email addresses or phone numbers or anything in that case. Um, Anonymous person asked about how shipping is calculated. It's not calculated through the portal at all. That's something that you type in yourself. We don't come up with the shipping prices. Sophie asked how to integrate with Shopify. That's all listed in the guide, the Shop Online guide. If you want to email me, I can send you that guide and send you the exact directions, but it's all listed there. And if you still have any questions after reading the guide, again, we can jump on a call. Let's see. If a retailer is interested in set up an appointment, you will get an email with that information. Someone asked if shop online orders are subject to commission. No, we never take commission. Another person asked, is there an appointment tool you can include in your email blast? That's a good question. There isn't a link to the actual appointment tool, but you can include a link to your Shop Online profile, which you can get by just going to your profile page. And if they're logged in as a buyer, they will see that appointment tool and be able to make an appointment. Another person asked, how do you recommend buyers place orders on the show floor? Uh, so if they come to the show, they have a shop online account. So if you'd like to create a purchase order on Shop Online, you absolutely can because they do have a Shop Online account. In that way, everything is just in one place. The purchase orders, leads, etc., are all together, and you can access them later on throughout your 6 month season. Um, but you can also absolutely still do a manual purchase order as well on paper. I would recommend including tariff costs or transportation costs. It's up to you whether you'd like to include them in your unit price or you charge them on top. I guess I would just recommend being completely open with the buyer about how much that all is going to cost. You can include that in the note section on the purchase order.
You can also include that in your term section on your profile page or even in your on your product page. Just be completely open about that. Um, an anonymous person asked, will we be able to link our shop online profile before January 15th for brands that are new to the show? So you can absolutely still log in and get your profile URL um, prior to January 15th. Your account, your profile page will not go live to buyers until January 15th. If you've uploaded everything that we've asked you to upload, then you'll go live on January 15th. So if you want to copy your URL, um, to send to people, you absolutely can, but it will not go live until January 15th. So you might want to wait until then. Another person asked, you mentioned the system logging you out. Is that when you close the browser? It doesn't log you out when you close a browser per se. I've just noticed that sometimes after like 24 hours or something, your iPhone will log you out of accounts on your internet browser. I think it just has to do with your settings, but we just recommend being safe, safer than sorry, because we've had brands think that they're scanning buyers all day, but they weren't even logged in. And it's just a shame when you can't access those leads later. So just at the beginning of every show day, just make sure that you're logged in. The shop online marketplace, your account will be visible for 6 months. So from January 15th through July 15th. So I think Dupali is answering the Shopify questions because she's the most skilled at that. If anybody has any non-Shopify related questions, go ahead. Someone asked if you have to keep checking to see if you're logged in. Does the browser log out automatically? It's not really up to Shop Online. It's kind of up to your iPhone or your device, as to how often it logs you out of internet accounts. Um, I have personally just heard that it will happen at the end of the day or something, but I'm not an expert at this. I just recommend you check every morning. Um, Elle, you asked how, could you repeat the point about how to scan? There's three different ways of how to scan a buyer badge, and we're gonna post this whole webinar in the online guide at the end of the day. So you can just access the video at the end of today, and you can test scan with the badge that's pulled up. We also are going to be holding this same webinar on January 26th at 12 p.m. Eastern. Um, so you can join us again if you want to have a refresh of everything I talked about today. But a recording of this call will be posted. Yes, regarding the product tags, so the tags are separate than the categories. Tags, product tags, you can have as many as you want of those. They're also called keywords. You can include, yeah, as many keywords or tags as you'd like. Those would just be search words that buyers would use to find your product. Um, in terms of category and subcategory, yes, we limit those to two per product. Now, those are referring to the drop-down menus that you'll see at the top of the Shop Online page. Um, and you can find those in the taxonomy guide, which is in the which is in the Shop Online guide. And I can send you that link if you need it again. But yeah, we limit you guys to two of those per product. Yes, buyers do get a copy of the purchase order as soon as it's confirmed on their end as well. Oh, yeah. Okay, so no, it's one set of category to subcategory per product. So two total. And I can kind of, I don't know how to really show you through my computer screen, but if you need to email me to ask me about that, you can at hello@shopobject.com. But for instance, stationery, and then the subcategory would be birthday. That is one set. And we limit each product to two sets. I hope that helped answer your question. Okay, let's see. I think Deepali is answering the last question. All right. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We can't wait to get to see you guys on site. Please reach out if you have any questions about scanning badges, printing your brand badges ahead of time, creating a purchase order, etc. And again, we will be having another one of these on January 26th. And we will also be posting this webinar at the end of today in the Shop Online guide. Thank you again. Bye-bye.